Hello, I'm Monsignor Charles Minor.
And I'm Alice Vale. You know, from grade school to high school to Big Five to the 76ers, Philadelphia is a basketball town. And in this program, we'll meet the coach of the 76ers, Billy Cunningham.
And we'll also go to Los Angeles to learn of a success story of that city's Hispanic community, the Plaza de la Raza. Our short segments will include a march on Washington by a not-so-typical group of demonstrators and also a special and unique ecumenical outreach.
The life of a professional coach is generally considered to be one of glamour and excitement, especially if the team's the winner. Defeat, however, presents a different picture. Recently, Billy Cunningham, coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, shared with us his feelings about the loss to the Boston Celtics and how his family helps him deal with the pressures of coaching. Given a basketball when he was 5 years old, Billy's love of the game grew through high school in New York City, college at the University of North Carolina, and finally, professionally. The first draft choice by the 76ers in 1965, Billy's very successful career as a player included 4 All-Stars, an NBA championship win, and recently he was honored as a member of the best team in the history of the National Basketball Association. Unfortunately, during the 1975-76 season, a knee injury stopped short his playing and he retired from basketball soon after. Both as a player and now as coach, Billy Cunningham has experienced triumphs and setbacks. We recently visited Billy, his wife Sandra, and their 2 children, and talked about the pressure-filled life of a professional coach. What was your experience as a player in the pros?
Oh, it was just so rewarding in so many ways. The people you get to meet, the competition, doing something that you would do for nothing and being able to earn a living doing it. I think that was the biggest factor. You know, I would have been playing probably on weekends or in some night league, in a recreation center or over 30 league.
See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard.
It's almost a way of life in the cities, and I'm sure it's still that way now. You know, if you didn't play basketball or baseball, but mostly basketball in the summer, in the spring, and almost all the months, you were kind of left out. We would go from one schoolyard to the next schoolyard. If you would hear there was better competition in this one area, then you'd go to that area, or then they'd come into your neighborhood to play basketball, and it was great rivalries, and I'm sure it had was a big factor in helping my career.
Billy's retirement from basketball was short-lived. In the beginning of the 1977-78 season, at 33 years old, he became the second youngest NBA coach as he assumed the reins of the Philadelphia 76ers.
First became the coach, there were so many things that I had to learn. Number one, about myself. I didn't know how I would react on the bench as a coach. Would I be one that would sit there and just watch and be intense? Or would I be one that would be up and down the court? And I found out pretty quickly what kind of coach I was going to be. I had to find out how I was going to relate to players, how close would I become with players, would I become good friends, would I have to have a certain amount of distance where I guess you would say I was management, they were the players. And one of the big problems that I had was that almost all the players on the 76ers at that time I had played with, not only against, but I had played with them. So it was a little difficult in that way, respect. That now I had to gain their respect, not as a basketball player, as a coach.
Billy's achievements as a coach have certainly gained him respect. In his 4 years of coaching, he has won 221 games. He has brought the 76ers to 2 Eastern Final matches and the championship contest in 1980 against Los Angeles. However, a championship win has eluded him. In the past season, the 76ers once again made it to the quarterfinals against Boston and lost a 3-1 game lead. When a team wins, praises are extended lavishly, but a team loss usually generates criticism for the coach. Billy and Sandra shared their feelings of this recent setback and how they coped with it.
You would like to see your team win a championship, and we had that opportunity, and we came very close. And when you work 9 months to try to achieve that, and it's a daily thing, it's not something where you can run down to the Jersey Shore for a weekend and get away from everything. It's something that it's every day from August till at that time it was May, where all your energies are directed in that area. And when you come so close, and you know, the initial reaction is a great letdown, and it takes something away from you, and it takes a while for you to regroup and set your goals again and what you'd like to achieve.
It was very hard. It was very hard. I think this year was the most difficult year for me. But as Bill was saying, he relies on his family. So we can be depressed and down, but we manage to put on a good face when Daddy comes home, because he sees enough of it, he hears enough of it. When he comes in here, this is his isolation period. He can stay away from everyone.
You find that to be successful in anything, you're going to have to give something up. And you know, I guess what we have to give up as a family is socializing, as much as we'd like to do with some friends during the course of the regular season. But the one thing I'm not going to give up is, especially these 2 little ones right here. My religion stems obviously from my parents, and what's important, my priorities, I think that all stem from my mother and father. It's the area in religion and going as a family to church has been very helpful to us. There's a lot of room for improvement in myself as a Catholic. I don't know how meaningful life is, you know, if you don't have that family, and they're just that important to me.
He's competitive in everything he does. Even a relaxing game of tennis, he is a competitor.
The travel agency in Philadelphia, it's a very unique name. We spent quite a bit of money with an advertising agency, Billy Cunningham Travel Agency. I'm involved in a hotel in Philadelphia. I'm involved in several business ventures. And I find that is very similar to sports, where it's competitive. Every day there's a game to be played, to constantly try to improve the business. And I think that's, you know, I couldn't understand why people that are successful in business, why they could continually strive to be more successful. And it's not the money factor I've found. It's the competition, it's succeeding, it's the game. Through sports and through meeting so many people in my life, I've found that everybody is an individual. Judge them that way. Treat people the way you want to be treated. And then you will be living as a Christian. Mm-hmm. And if you can do that, then it's going to be you're going to help the world be a better world and a place to live in.
Although he has not yet achieved his goal of an NBA championship win, Billy Cunningham, for me, represents the essence of success, both in his personal life and in his professional career.
It wasn't the largest group to march on the mall in Washington, D.C., but it had to be the happiest.
Smile!
Over 500 Christian clowns, mimes, puppeteers, and dancers gathered in D.C. for a ministry workshop. When they saw that huge open space between the Capitol and the Washington Monument, they just couldn't resist the urge to parade. They puzzled some people, but absolutely delighted others. They even offered some advice to those who don't wear the grease paint, but who want to make their little corner of the world a happier place to live.
Give each other love, spread more love around, because that's what we all need more of.
Don't take it so seriously.
Begin to take some time to just sit around with one another and tell jokes. We've forgotten to tell jokes. And to take time to giggle a lot and to get tickled a lot.
Just spread around a little love, lots of love. Love people, man's best friend. They'll love you back.
Love, Jesus love. It's what we're all about. That's why the cross is at the top of my star.
Love God and make people smile. Be a clown.
Let's face it, Winchester, Virginia is horse country.
Here he comes. This is number 772, Black Rip.
Today, folks have gathered for a horse show fundraiser for Sacred Heart School. There's everything from barrel racing to a wagon driving competition. It brings back days past. But today on the road to Winchester, there's a reminder of the present. The Catholic Diocese of Arlington, Virginia appreciates its rural heritage. So much so that it's outfitted a van that visits country towns. It spreads the word about services offered to the people through the Catholic Church. And it's called Shepherd 2, a name spun off from Shepherd 1, the plane that brought the Pope to America. Ellen McCluskey is Director of Communications for the diocese and often travels aboard Shepherd 2.
Shepherd 2 is designed as a PR mobile. It is geared so that people can see the vibrancy of the church in action. Wherever people are, the diocesan people, whether non-Catholic or Catholic, that's where Shepherd 2 goes. It's not geared solely for Catholicism, it's geared for evangelization.
What entices cowgirls and cowboys out of the arena and into Shepherd 2? A slideshow, for one thing.
The Diocese of Arlington is a family.
It gives a quick but thorough look at the diocese. The slideshow, along with pamphlets and brochures about current topics and church programs, is a winning combination.
It's good for me to get out of the office and to meet these people because they're very warm, they're very community-oriented, they have a good idea of what's going on in their church. And I get a lot of ideas and I got a lot of feedback of what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong.
It's called mixing business with pleasure, the business of the work of the church, with the pleasure of meeting people at the grassroots level.
And there's a prime source of enthusiasm that we want to touch and reach out to and say, we're here to help you, and we care for you. So it's not miles, it's people. And anybody who goes through that, as I believe, is one person touched by the activities of the church in Arlington.
Participants in the Los Angeles Plaza de la Raza believe that culture is something to be experienced, not learned. To achieve this goal, each week the children and the adults of the city's Hispanic community are involved in a variety of projects that teach in and through the arts.
This is Lincoln Park on the east side of Los Angeles, California. Once a resting place for weary travelers, today, in the midst of the Hispanic community, it's the site of a cultural center called Plaza de la Raza, a place for the people. These students from Eastman School in Los Angeles are a part of a cultural awareness program that was created to give these children a better understanding of their Hispanic heritage. Edmundo Rodriguez, executive director of Plaza de la Raza, has a strong commitment to the development and the expansion of the arts.
The Mexican cultural values, the music, the dance, the literature, is all very important in developing a person, an individual. And I feel that when a child comes and sees pre-Columbian dancing and listens to its music, that they're able to appreciate and really develop an understanding for that culture.
The philosophy of the staff at Plaza de la Raza is that culture should be experienced, not learned. And the benefits of this approach are reciprocal. Meet Urbane Lucero.
I'm learning something all the time, every day. And the fact that I can share something with them, I think I like that the most, that I'm sharing what I know, what I've learned. That is satisfaction for me.
I get new kids every day, so, I can more or less, be myself. And me, I'm kind of crazy. I like to just fool around with them,
Tony Vasquez has been with the Plaza de la Raza for 4 years. Here, he depicts Montezuma performing an ancient ritual.
Dance represents a ceremony that was done by the Azteca Indians, and it represents the calendar. The calendar consists of 52 years in a cycle. At the end of each cycle, all the fires were extinguished in the city and one new fire was lit.
This particular program offered to Los Angeles elementary schools was begun at Plaza de la Raza in 1973. It involves cultural workshops in dance, art, and music, which exemplify the contributions Hispanics have made to artistic expression in America. Its purpose is to give the children a true sense of pride and appreciation of their Hispanic heritage.
One of the problems that we have as Hispanics in this society is that as soon as we either arrive to this country or we are born here and we're truly Americans, that we tend to, either by peer pressure or any other pressure, we tend to feel a little embarrassed, or people, or children in particular, tend to feel that maybe their cultural values are not up to standard or in comparison to maybe other cultures.
Before, to do Mexican dance, they would be embarrassed to, or, afraid to speak Spanish or ashamed to, which there really is no reason. Whereas now it's, everyone's taking folklorico, everybody's into that. So I think just the fact that they're experiencing their culture.
So hopefully, we're bringing up a whole different type of attitude. That, it's not bad to speak Spanish or be proud of what you are. Try to let them know what this park was, and really the battle that took place to preserve the park.
And in 1970, they wanted to turn this park into a housing project. They wanted to flatten it out and build a housing project here. Now, the people in the community, they were upset about this because this is one of the few parks that still exist around here. So they said, no, we should save the park because people use it. So then a group came together and developed into the name of Plaza La Raza, which we wanted to have a place for the race.
In 1972, the group renovated the old Lincoln Park boathouse with grants from the city of Los Angeles and the federal government. Through the dedication of its many advocates, the dream of Plaza de la Raza became a reality. Its ever-increasing productivity and prestige were made possible by many generous donations from the business world. Today, the award-winning Cultural Center is supported by dozens of major businesses from across America and offers a multitude of services and programs for the people of Los Angeles.
This is not to service any one particular group of people or one individual type of individual. We are here to service the entire city of Los Angeles.
This is a place that anybody can come to. I mean, if they wanted to take classes here, their guitar lessons, music, and dance, it's open to everyone.
Besides the programs with the Los Angeles elementary schools, Plaza de la Raza offers preschool bilingual classes, classes in dance, and music lessons in both piano and guitar. Some of the programs for young adults include Head Start, bilingual courses in literature and theater, in addition to several programs involving older members of the community. Everyone has the opportunity to experience their heritage, and no one is turned away. Meet Cecilia Sandoval, Program Director at Plaza de la Raza.
Besides that, we do give classes free of charge, thanks to a grant from the City of Los Angeles, to our low-income residents. This is an area where we have quite a few poor families, lower-income families, and this provides them an opportunity to educate their children in areas of art and music that they would not have an opportunity to do otherwise. We have problems that any community with very low income level residents will have. I'm sure you're aware of the gang problems that Los Angeles is experiencing, but we have found that if we get some of those young people involved in our programs, they become protective of the program. It becomes their program, and this is what we're trying to really share with the community. This is not a program to be imposed. This is a program to be shared and developed together.
Plaza de la Raza now conducts cultural exchange programs with the Jewish community and is developing outreach programs with the growing Asian community. The future of Plaza is one of expansion.
The concept of plaza in Spanish means the center patio or meeting place for the community, and that's the whole concept behind our project here. To invite the community groups to have their art exhibits, to have their theater groups perform here. In other words, this will be a place where others can come to share their culture.
As part of a bicentennial project with the City of Los Angeles, expansion of their current facilities is a dream come true.
The proposed construction then will consist of the performing arts area, a dance studio, and the fine arts building. These three buildings, as you know, are going to form a bicentennial project for the City of Los Angeles.
All this has been made possible through the determination, concern, and generosity of countless persons dedicated to the continuation of a beautiful artistic heritage.
The only requirement of a staff person, other than qualifications for whatever position they're filling, is a real love for the arts and for our culture. And that enthusiasm just spills over so that putting in 10, 12, 13-hour days doesn't seem so much an effort as more as a labor of love.
Plaza de la Raza is truly place of the people, a full-fledged success story of which the Spanish community of Los Angeles can be proud. Next week, we'll meet a special kind of teacher with a unique approach to education and take you to Agape House, a home away from home for families of prisoners. Our short subjects will feature a tribute to Mother Catherine Drexel. We certainly have enjoyed your letters to us here at Reel to Reel. Why don't you write us if you haven't done so yet? Reel to Reel, 222 North 17th Street, Philadelphia 19103.
Thanks for being with us and for being part of Reel to Reel.
Look forward to seeing you next week. Goodbye and God bless you.